Welcome and hello. This is a video exercise in HEC HMS. And in this exercise, we are going to be drawing out cross sections for paired data sets using some raw data. All right, what I have on the screen here is the instructions and the download files right here for this exercise. So I left a link to this website in the description of the video. By all means, go ahead and follow along if you want. What we have here is creating cross-section paired data curves is what it's called. And what we see here is a link to download the zip file. So the first thing we want to do is click that to download. Okay, so that just downloaded for me already. That's cool. Here's the zip file that downloaded. I'm going to just go ahead and open that up. It says initial, and then inside it says routing workshop. And then inside that is project files for HMS. Let's see. Okay, so here's the HMS file right here. That looks good. I'm just going to go ahead and go up a level, and then I'm going to drag that into a location on my computer that I want to keep it permanently. All right, so that's done. I can go ahead and close that, and I'm just going to delete the zip file. Now I'm going to open up HMS and open up this routing workshop project. So here's HMS. I'm going to go open and then browse. Okay, here's the project. So I'll click on that and then open up routing workshop.hms and select. It asks me here if I want to convert my version, and I want to say yes, convert the project version, and it opened up fine for me here in version 4.12. All right, so what I have here is the basin map. I'm going to expand this here. I have a few different hydrologic elements on the map. What I have here are a few different elements. There's a source element at the upstream end, and then a reach, a second reach, and then a third reach. We can call that upper, middle, and lower. And then at the end of the lower reach is a sink. If we go ahead and click on one of these elements, say the middle reach element, we see the properties here in the components editor. What we see is that the routing method for this reach uses the Muskingum-Kung method. So if I click on the routing tab, we already have a bunch of data that's defined here, such as the length, the slope, the Manning's-N, and so on. But down here, under shape, we have a few different options. It's currently set to 8 point, and then some of the other options you can see is circle, rectangle, tabular, trapezoid, and triangle. If we're using 8 point as our shape, then we then have to define what that cross section is using 8 points, which would include a main channel section and then a left and right overbank. Right now, my options are lower and middle. So I'm just going to go ahead and assign that to middle. And then for the lower reach, I'm going to do the same thing. Select the shape of 8 point, which it already is, and then select a cross section of lower. And then for this upper section here, I want to do the same thing. Select the shape of 8 point. And then our options to select are only middle and lower. We don't have an upper cross section defined. So that's what we're going to be doing in this exercise. If you're curious what that data looks like, for instance, we'll just look at the middle reach cross section. Up here in the Watershed Explorer, I can expand this paired data directory by clicking the plus symbol. And then again, for the cross section, we have lower and middle. On the main tab here, it just says the data source and then the units of feet and feet. This units refers to the station and elevation. So if I click on the next tab here for table, we see the 8 points defined that cross section where the stationing ranges from 0 up to 549 in this case. And then the elevation starts and ends at a higher elevation, and then it drops down to lower elevation to define that leftover bank, main channel, and right over bank. We can actually visualize this data here by clicking on the graph tab, and here we see a schematic of what that data is, and those are the 8 points that define that middle reach cross section. If I bring up the instructions again, we scroll down, it gives us a little background and overview, and then ultimately we get this table here of raw data, which defines the station and elevation for that upper reach. And then from that, we need to define the 8 points right here. Instead of just typing in the data, I figure we type in the raw data in Excel or a similar spreadsheet type application, and then go ahead and define those 8 points visually by ourselves. So that's what we're going to do next. Here's my Excel file. I've gone ahead and sort of created an outline where I have station and elevation for both my raw data and my 8 point. I'm going to just copy in the data from the exercise into this raw data station and elevation columns. and then plot it, and then come up with my own 8 points for station and elevation based on inspection and also using the help of the plot. Let me just drag the data over to the side here to make it easy to type in. And then one value at a time here. This may take a while, but it would only have to happen once. I'll say station 0, and then the first elevation is 35.1. Next up is 7.5, 26.2, 14.1. And then the last value is 339.9 and 35.1. All right, now that we have all the raw data input, what I'm going to do is in Excel, highlight those values. And then in the Insert tab up at the top, there's this chart drop down. Click on Scatter. I'm just going to click the first one right here. And what we have is a scatter plot that appeared on our screen. So I'm going to try to make some room for that. Good enough. I'm going to click on this little plus icon and just give the add a label to the axes. So for this horizontal axis, this will be station in feet. For the vertical axes, this is the elevation in feet. The chart title here is going to be just cross section. I can call it upper cross section. And also I want to change the axes. It doesn't need to go past 350. So I'm going to go right click, format axes, and then set the maximum here to 350. Okay, I think that would improve the look a little bit better. All right, and then now I want to add a line. Obviously, you can kind of visualize what a line would look like, but there's no need for that. So I just needed to click outline. There we go. And then click line. There we go. So I have a line that looks good. I think I'm ready to go ahead and define the 8 points now, including this main channel area, the left overbank, and the right overbank. And what we should probably start at is start at the first and last points to equal the same first and last points in this raw data set. Why? Because they're the most extreme points based on the elevation and the stationing. So for this first row here, I'm just going to use the same values as I have over there. And then for the eighth row down, I need to grab this point right here, which is going to be like 340. I think I can just hover over it. Yeah, 339.9 and then 35.1. 0.9, 35.1. Okay. Well, I don't have any plot drawn out yet. If I just paste in values, I'm going to right click one more time and select the data. So I'll call this 8-point data and then X. So this is going to be my stationing. And then right here is going to be the elevation values. I know the data isn't correct yet, but there we go. At least we see a line. So there's the line. What we want to do is now select the intermediate points. And again, we can only select, well, 6 intermediate points because we have the 2 endpoints already defined. And I think it's pretty clear like about what points we should select. This is our first point. This will be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7. And then this will be our 8th and final point up here. All right, so let's go ahead and use this point right here for point number 2. So it's 20 is the stationing, 15.1 is the elevation. I'll type that in. Okay, that's good. The next dot appeared here in our orange series. And then let me take this one right here. It's 120 this as the stationing, and then 15.1. So as you can see, the plot's drawing out. Never mind this diagonal line at the moment. The next point will be 134.8, comma 1. The next point, we'll take either of these points would probably work. How about the one with an elevation of 0 right here, 210, comma 0? This is 224.1, 15.1. I think either of these 2 points would work. Let's go with this one here. All right. So that is our approximation there. The orange line is the 8-point series that we created, which is more or less the same as the raw data set, but just using fewer points. And that's all we have to do using Microsoft Excel. What we have to do is use this data and bring it into HMS and use it to define the cross section, which will be a paired data set. Back over in HMS, I'm going to click on the Components menu and then Paired Data Manager. For the type, I want to select cross sections. Right now, we already have our lower and middle cross section. So what we want to do is click New, and then for a name, I'll call this Upper, and Create. All right. Now in the Watershed Explorer, I'll go ahead and click on that upper paired data set we just created. I'll accept the defaults here of manual entry and then the units of feet and feet. Now over here in the table tab, what we need to do is grab that Excel data that we've defined. I'm just going to hit Control C to copy it onto my clipboard, and then right click paste, or Control V paste might also work, and then click save. So now we'll click on the graph and just confirm that it looks pretty much what I expect it to look like. And then we can assign this 8-point shape to our upper reach in the basin model. So I'll go ahead and click on this basin model. Now, again, we have Muskingum-Kung routing method selected. I'll click this routing tab, and now we should see an option down here in cross section for upper, which is right there. Well, that was it for this exercise. We used raw cross section data to find an 8-point cross section from that, and then created a cross section in HMS and then assigned it to a reach.